Rhea and yes. Yes. Rhea and Shay, we've got a couple putzes in here. One. Do you need to sharpen all of them?
Wow.
My goodness. All right, girls. So for today, you need to send me a picture of the odds done. If you're already done and you don't need to watch this video, just send me a picture of the left-hand side. Otherwise, do the odds with us and then finish the evens. This is 7.6 B worksheet. Regular, I thought 7.6B. It's just 7.6 worksheet. So the first says write as a single natural logarithm. What I want you to do, natural log means ln. That's what it's natural log. It has a little invisible base on it that's an e. E will get explained to you in higher levels, so we don't really quite know what that is, but it's a number. Okay? It's 2.7-ish. Anyway, so addition condenses to multiplication. Yes. So this would be the natural log of 18. Now, if I wanted to know what that is, I'd go to my calculator and do natural log of 18, but that's not what this says. It says to write an expression as a single logarithm. So I have ln in there written one time, and I'm done.
Okay, that's easy.
All right, that was easy. Number 3, you have to kind of condense it to one. My answer down here is the ln of stuff. To get the stuff, you have to get this guy tucked into the natural log. How does it go in? As a what? As an exponent. So that's ln 8 squared or ln 64. Then it says minus ln, and it'd be 4 to the third. Are we good? Powers come in. What does subtraction condense to? Division. 8 squared is 64. 4 times 4 is 16, times another 4 is also 64.
So it's just like 1.
So it's ln of 1. Now this actually, you should know, but it says to express as a single natural log. So I think we'll leave that. But remember, if I want to know what ln 1 is, it's e to what power equals 1? 0. Yeah, so your calculator will say ln 1 is 0. But because it says as a single natural log, I think we can leave that. You might want to write equals 0 just in case, but I'm going to follow the directions. Do you guys get why I said that's 0? What's anything to the 0 power? 1. Yeah, so even if you tried it on your calculator using your ln button and did ln 1, it'll say 0. Now this guy, number 5, girls at home, goes in reverse. So we're going to expand it into all of its logarithms. And when you read it, it tells you what to do. This is the natural log of 4a to the 5th divided by. The minute I say divided by, I'm going to take that 4a to the 5th, and I'm going to subtract off the natural log of b squared. I'm expanding it. Next thing is that I got to be careful that I don't bring that power out front yet on the first one, because the 4 isn't to the 5th. If I were to read this, I'd say 4 times a to the 5th. And what does multiplication expand into? Addition. So that's actually ln 4 plus ln a to the 5th minus ln b squared. Now you can pull the powers out front. What do I mean by now you can pull the powers out front?
5 out front.
Yeah, 5 out front of the second one, so it's natural log of 4. You can tell I write a natural log a lot in calculus, and I put the little loop on it so they don't think it's a 1. But we work with these a lot. So this would be plus, you're right, Jackson, then be a 5 out front, and minus. So it's basically the reverse of the other section. Are we good so far? All right, so for solving, you have to figure out, well, what is x? So here's what you're going to do. You have to get it as a single log first before you even hope to solve it. So I want to get in here in the parentheses, but the parentheses are tucked in the natural log, and it's got a 3 in the way of everything. So I'm going to get rid of the 3 first. How do I undo multiplying by 3? Dividing. Right? I'm solving this for x, so I got to get rid of everything. The 3's got to go first, and I'll have the natural log of some stuff is equal to 2/3. All right. To solve this, though, you got to get out a natural log. So you have to get that, the x is trapped in a natural log function. I know I'll eventually need to subtract 3, right? I'll eventually need to divide by 2, but not until I get the natural log out of there.
You can just subtract the log over.
Not quite. What is the little base on this guy? E. And so when we do build a house, e to the 2/3 has to equal 2x plus 3. So you're just going to do, once you get that natural log isolated, it's base to the outside equals the inside, or you might want to write this. I think this is how Mr. Michener does like the building the house. So e to the 2/3. Now, this has to get done on a calculator, and it doesn't say what to round to. So does he say to keep it exact or round it?
I keep it like there.
Keep it exact?
Yeah, he says you can, you don't round it because it will tell you.
Right. Okay, good. So in order, this is a number. E is like 2.7 to the 2/3 power. Your calculator would tell you, but it'll be an icky decimal. So we're just going to pretend it was a 10 over here. Just pretend e to the 2/3 was 10. And you're solving this for x. Once you subtract 3 from that number, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I have e to the 2/3, which is some ugly number. You could go look at it on your calculator. You have an e to the button. It's doesn't really matter because we're not going to go to the calculator. So there. So that'll get rid of the 3. Now, how in algebra do you get rid of the multiplying by 2? Divide by 2. So this is some number over here on the left, and I'm going to divide it by 2. I think this is how I would leave my answer. I was just wondering if he said to round or not, and you guys are saying no, so that's great. Let's go take a look at the next, or is there more on the bottom of this that I'm missing, or is it on the, all right, so we're going to run through the odds. Number 9. All right, so here we go. It says solve this for x. Yes, I'm going to need to add 1 at some point. Yes, I'll need to multiply by 2 at some point, but my biggest problem is that this natural log is taking up that whole thing. I need to get rid of the natural log. Do you remember how to do that? Build a house. What's the little base on the natural log? E to the what power? 4 equals x minus 1 over 2. You might say, well, why didn't you fart around with that one? I didn't need to, right? Because it's already just ln. So now I need to go over here and say, well, this is x minus 1 divided by 2. How do we undo division by 2? Yeah, you multiply by 2. We almost have that x attacked. We just need to get rid of the minus 1. I thought my highlighter was activated. How do I get rid of the minus 1? Yep, add. So we're going to add 1 on this side. You're thinking of condensing.
I'm backwards.
Yes. So this will be a plus 1. Now this is a number. E is like close to 3.
So you don't actually have to find the number.
That's what I was asking you guys, if you had to actually, but then you have to round it, and so this is the exact answer. I can go ask him that later while you're working, if he wants them round. My guess is he'd prefer it just left like this, so we're gonna leave it for now. All right, I think so. Yep. So these ones with the E in it, now this is a little bit trickier, so you gotta watch. So if you take a look at this guy, my x is up in an exponent. I've got a lot of problems, but I need to get rid of the 3 and the minus 4 first before I even deal with the fact that there's an E in there. So just pretend it was 3x minus 4. You would add 4, right? So we're getting rid of all the layers. I got rid of the minus 4 layer. What layer do you think I'm going to get rid of next? The 3. How am I going to get rid of the 3? Divide by 3, just like you always have. The only difference here is how you get rid of that E. Do you guys remember from your notes?
Can't you break the house?
Yes. I don't know how you were taught to do that. You know how adding and subtracting are inverse operations and they undo each other?
Yeah.
You know how multiplication and division undo each other?
Yeah.
You know how squaring and square rooting undo each other?
Yeah.
Natural log and E undo each other.
Oh,
So if you want to undo e, you natural log. These will undo it. So I have x over 4. You might say, well, what happened up here? You'll notice that it was natural log, and I undid it with an e. Like, so I don't know how you would type that, so I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, so then I end up getting x over 4 equals natural log of 8/3, which is a number, but we're going to keep this exact. This just needs one more little tweak, and I'll have that x all by itself.
Divide by 4.
Almost.
Or multiply.
Multiply by 4, yeah, Mason. So I'll have x Mason, you're on fire today. So are you, Jackson. You guys, the other ones are quiet. Are we good, Parky Pants?
Yep.
Oh. All right, girls. I need to see a picture of at least that done. To get your points in here, you have to at least do what we do when we do them. You go, boys in class, should be able to finish this whole thing. So back to the front. And I'm going to do, now you got to go back and do the stuff. Jake, you were good at this condensing and expanding. So you're going to look at this and just go subtraction condenses to division. And what's 24 divided by 6? 4, and I'm done. It's a single log. All right? So you guys work on expanding, contracting. You should be good. The back gets a little tricky. I'm going to upload this for my Chef E Poos. Fine.